Also, if you like stand-up comedy, you can go watch his whole 2 hours.
Yeah, this is just but
he did his thing.
But check this out. This is
all of these agencies and many of these corporations.
So he's talking, first of all, he's talking about ad agencies, and the clip that this came out on was Roland promises holy hell if corporate America ad agencies don't do right by black media, by black-owned media. That's what this is here.
Like
again.
I said, he's been a G since the ascot came off, man. The gloves came off with
He's
the
underdressed
ascot.
on this clip, though. I mean, I know he...
Because where's his money? Corporations better have my money.
He spent all his money at the Pandiera.
Wasn't that a song? Corporate America better have my money.
I feel like it was a different someone better have my money. I feel like ODB wasn't talking about corporate. He was saying somebody else better have his money. But Roland's got this. He's got the lavalier Mike T-shirt problem that I see that no one has still been able to solve in professional media. You can't have, if you don't have a collar, you wearing this always wrecks the look of the line of a T-shirt. So it's just a shame. It's not his fault though. It's not his fault though.
I mean, beyond that, he fills it out well though.
And many of these corporations that we deal with, they have been calling Todd, they've been calling Hardy Pelt, his co-founder, wondering what I was going to say tonight. They have all been worried. Here's the deal. If you are doing what you're supposed to do, why are you worried? See, if you actually are spending the money, you shouldn't be worried about what I have to say because there will be the results to actually show it. The fact of the matter is, for all of these agencies and all of these companies to say, oh, we're exceeding our goals, prove it. Show us the numbers. Show us who's getting what. Literally. Oh, now Roland, two of them. Roland, you know that we can't reveal who gets what. Why not? If you want us to actually believe that you're hitting the goals, be transparent. Because you demand that I be transparent with my numbers. You demand that I be transparent when it comes to your metrics.
Which again, so we got to read between the lines now. So
selling
just
y'all.
real quick, if this is where my ego gets out of control, I will admit this, because I feel like this rebranding of the language is in response to me. That is my I'm sharing my private thoughts in this moment. That when he says, because the whole point here of what he's saying is the metrics that you require that I meet are demonstrating that I have a certain audience and that certain audience has a certain degree of buying power. And I even checked before we went on this morning. He still has on the Roland Martin Unfiltered page that reference from Nielsen about the buying power and the black audience he's bringing to marketers. So this is what I'm saying is always the contradiction between the black commercial press and black audiences and the rest of society. They have to chase and make these pitches to white corporate America under the guise of black progressive and radicalness and pride, so that he can deliver those audiences to those white corporations. Yeah.
Can we slide the word entertainment in there? Black entertainment.
What do you mean?
Like,
oh no, well, okay,
because I feel like Roland is definitely doing homiletics and he's doing engage in suspense, like, I'm about to call these white people out. Like he's doing entertainment right now, and I'm pretty sure he's reading the script or rolling off a script.
And so the reality that he's acknowledging is that when you're consuming this type of media, you are the product.
That's right.
You are his show is the hook and the line and the pole, you the fish, and the corporate products that you are to go buy. That's the fisherman. So they get out here and they're not out producing this content for the upliftment and education and empowerment. They're producing content to attract eyes so that they can sell those demographics to corporate advertisers. And you cannot, and any intelligent person would not assume that doesn't, well, let me use the industry term, that shades the content, what they're willing to talk about. So they're selling you to the very people they're supposed to be educating us how to fight it against. They're
Diallo,
selling
it's
us to the
okay.
very people they're supposed to be empowering us to fight against.
Diallo, it's okay. You can simply say Jared is right. You can say I'm on their side. It's okay.
Yeah. I have no problem with that. I have no problem.
So
admitting when you're right.
but again, I think that's where the trick bag come in. So these corporations is funding media sources to maintain the dominant culture, but Roland is selling it to the Black community as if it's some liberating tools or some kind of freedom, ownership type shit, but he running the same play.
The Black business. It's
they're going to finance.
The same thing must apply.
Right.
No, go ahead.
No, I'm saying that he wants corporations to finance our upliftment and our rising up to replace them.
No, his, not our.
All right.
Our ain't in there. That trickle down ain't gonna trickle down.
Well, that's another thing, right? Well, Black people love trickle down economics. Only when wealthy Black people engage in trickle down economics, Black people love it. We only hate it when Reagan did it.
Sprinkle,
Sprinkle
me, man.
It's the
when
messaging,
when Ray does trickle down economics, we love it. But when Reagan do it, we hate it.
Hey, wait. Side note. You said Ice-T was the best rapper, but Sprinkle Me Man is the best rapper on the West Coast.
E40. Come on, man.
All right, next. All right, back to topic. Back to topic. I needed to slide that in. Back to topic. I need to slide it in. Back to topic. Back to topic.
Deuce revolver.
Because I'm simply sitting right here at 8:01. I'm over time on this, but at 8:01 on March 1st, 2023. I am unconvinced that all of these agencies and all of these companies are meeting or exceeding their goals, because I know how much money is in the marketplace. And if you're a company that's annually spending $1 billion on marketing and your commitment is 5%, where the money at? Because guess what? Essence can't eat all of it. Urban One can't eat all of it. Blavity can't eat all of it. And if I actually had to start naming companies, y'all, there are really only 5 major Black-owned media companies. Urban One, Essence Communications.
Don't say you.
Blavity.
Don't say you.
Black Enterprise. That's not 4. Tyler, who would you say is the 5th?
I'd say I'm the 5th. Urban Edge Network.
Okay, you got Urban Edge. You got Revolt.
On 303 million devices.
Okay, you got Revolt. Okay, that's now we're up to 6. All right, y'all, we ain't talking about a lot of companies here. All right, I know for a fact there's nobody in our space 1 million YouTube subscribers, 100,000 downloads of the app, on Jared, 3 major platforms and 24-hour streaming channel.
So explain to the people so when you think about the media set-asides to Black media, explain to the people where those dollars can go up other than people like Roland Martin, his show, like print media and these other things. Like where could those dollars be going? Because like he said, most of these people said, well, we on target to meet our deadline to send minority set-asides, be it women, be it Black folks, Asian, or whatever. So who else is out there where Roland can't be? Well, Roland is kind of like saying that, oh, it's only a few of us out there, we're not getting the money. Well, maybe other minorities are getting the money. So what else is out there?
So honestly, I don't know the details of what these set-asides are or what arrangements he's specifically talking about. As we'll see, he ends up making a reference to the post George Floyd promises of corporate America. But those, when I ever looked at them, and I think when we ever looked at them here, it was never very specific in terms of it. So I think technically, and I could be wrong on this, but I think technically it could be any Black-owned, in this case, media operation. So technically they could give to BPM, they could give to anybody that has, I guess, some sort of official corporate arrangement, documentation or whatever, nonprofit maybe. But they could also be giving, I'm thinking also that the numbers aren't necessarily, they don't need to be necessarily made clear either. So they could be giving more to Essence than he's aware of and just not giving as much to him.
Right.
And then I don't know that he's going to disclose or ever does disclose, because he doesn't in this clip, how much he was expecting to get and what he thinks his cut should be. He doesn't. But, and I'll just stop here by saying, but so my main interest, at least, is just this desire to get that money. And then what does it mean in terms of the kind of content, to Diallo's previous point, that you have to create to make yourself attractive to these audiences? And that's what
So real quick, Jesse Lee Peterson and Candace Owens could be.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, maybe not Candace Owens. I mean, to the extent that her operation is independent of the Daily Wire. So if she has a nonprofit version of her show or her own sort of intake process, I don't think they could give it to the Daily Wire per se and say, because you have a Black host working for you, this counts. But I'm sure she's got some side hustle operation or her own whatever that could take that money in, and that would absolutely count.
Can we say who they is? Because we're like they don't give us. It's like, what is it? Boeing? Is it Raytheon?
No, specifically
Coca-Cola?
So specifically, he names companies that I'm assuming are ad and marketing agencies, but in general, he's talking about the ad buyers and marketers. So so to your point, he in theory could be talking about those particular companies, but I think in specifically he's thinking or claiming, I'm talking about the Procter and Gamble's, the people that are buying ad revenues as a part of their business for other businesses and agencies that do that kind of work. So,
right, but then he would have to promote those agencies. So you're going to talk about the unacknowledged epidemic of type 2 diabetes in the Black community, brought to you by Coca-Cola and McDonald's.
Well, he does. I mean, he mentions them coming up as his. So yeah, that is it. Remember, I mean, we played. I thought. I don't know what I thought last year when we shared that clip of him and his McDonald's Christmas special, where they had a brother in a full Ronald McDonald's outfit singing and dancing Christmas songs on Roland Martin's platform. So, I mean, doing like a Christmas gospel thing. I mean, it was one of the more, amazing updating blackface in McDonald's face coon events that I've ever seen. It was pretty remarkable. So he's, but again, his argument would be, well, I think he makes it. I don't need to make it for him. We can keep going if you all are ready. But
well, I also want to say this.
Go ahead, yeah,
because this is my main problem. Now, I ain't got no problem with an angry Black man spewing vitriol on the internet. That's my thing. I'm into that. So he could come to our weekly meeting for that type of stuff. But when you rally the masses or you threaten to mobilize the masses of Black people and target an individual or industry or state, you have to really identify how that's going to serve the masses. I see in a lot of these prominent Blacks, or as Ford called them, leading Blacks, who threaten to rally the masses on behalf of a cause when that cause does not have any potential to feed back anything positive or empowering to the masses. So if I'm speaking for myself and what my problem is, because I have several personal problems. Like, I don't like how Square Enix is managing Outriders on the Xbox One server. I'm very unhappy with that. But I'm not going to threat to bring out the people to target Square Enix and go and be like, yeah, you better listen, because our people, we are. So these leading Blacks, before they rally the masses, we have to start saying, how, like he said, where's our money? We have to say as the masses that they're going to rally to go out and protest, boycott, or whatever he's going to get the horde of Black people to do with our Black consumer power, right? With our Black dollars. He has to tell us this is how it will benefit y'all. as opposed to just how it's benefiting or harming him personally.
But I think that's the thing. So Roland is talking about how the corporations are disrespecting the black consumer and they don't respect the black consumer. But again, once they get that money, the black consumer ain't getting shit. But the same dumbass content ain't getting no jobs. He ain't talking about adding no jobs, no more opportunity, no grants, no nothing.
So we're gonna come to that though, because the Earn Your Leisure folks do that for him, and so it's kind of perfect that you said that, and we have it lined up in that way, because that is what's next. That's part of the trickle down economics that I think Diallo was talking about. You know, and he's also acknowledging that black buying power and black consumption is insufficient, which is why he needs to make these appeals, because he knows that black people don't have, in terms of business and or consumption, don't have the ability to support his platform in a way that he wants it to be supported. So that's why he does what he does, both in terms of content and these clips here. And I should have done this before the show, but if I'm a little distracted, it's because I am ordering the new Ad Age. I'm trying to get the report right now, the latest report on the numbers, so that I could show the report to you right now. But I'll keep working on that in the background here. But go ahead. Yeah, absolutely. Go ahead.
One more thing, where you had mentioned the Daily Wire, which is an interesting source of revenue. A lot of these far right industries, they don't get corporate advertising dollars, because many multinational corporations don't want to be publicly associated with overt racism and fascism. So a lot of those groups are funded by Patreons, you know, wealthy individuals.
Also billionaires.
Ideological, but not just billionaires, because it ain't Soros, because that's the only, Soros is funding, where most of the billionaires are far right-wing fascists, authoritarians. So they get their money from these endowments, from these think tanks, and from these extremely wealthy individuals who bankroll the whole operation at a loss.
Prager, all of Dennis Prager, Prager University, all of that.
Exactly. And they get tens of millions. The Daily Wire just offered up a $52 million contract to a YouTube creator.
No, I know. I watched that whole thing. Steven Crowder, they were going to pay.
Was like, it's not enough. Yeah. Right. But do you see the multinational corporations advertising on Daily Wire?
No, that's what I'm saying, because they have billion. They do have billionaire right-wing money and all of that.
Right. So what?
So Jared, did you see when Roland quoted the 3 million black businesses with zero paid employees? Did you see that part, or it was another time?
I'm sorry. Say that again.
When on the show, he quoted that like black businesses had all these I guess 3 million businesses with zero paid employees.
Yeah,
it's kind of like the stat that you have. Yeah. So,
but he doesn't say it correctly.
He don't. But what?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I'm going to say we keep talking about what he's going to say, and that. So anyway, we could play it and then talk about it, or we could not play it and talk about it and just talk about it.
I could just say it. I'm more Roland than Roland Martin. I'm the one with the ascot here. Nobody else. I be the one.
Hit play.
No, hit me, not him.
No, hit play then. Hit play. Let's go.
So who are you spending the money with? I'm confused. Where is the money going and how much? When folks start giving me percentages, that's always a way of saying I ain't trying to really give you the real number. Because if you're spending 1, 2, and 3 billion, then where is it? Pull up the graphic of Quibi. What do we do next? Here's what we do next. Black America, we're going to call this is what this show is going to do. We're going to call every single one of these companies that committed $150 million to Quibi before they launch, and we're going to say, where's our money? Discover, General Mills, T-Mobile, Taco Bell, Procter & Gamble, PepsiCo, Ab&Bev, Walmart, Progressive, Google, Anheuser-Busch. If you could commit $150 million to a digital platform that had no metrics, no data, no research, no numbers, all because Jeffrey Katzenberg launched it, well, how in the hell can you deny WVON has been there for decades?
See, this is what I'm saying. So this part says a lot of things to me as well. So this is again the false comparison to Jews and other communities that keeps being made that people do not seem to understand, and being made so that Black commentators like Roland Martin can claim some radical Blackness and forethought that doesn't exist. The first and simple point is, obviously, they're not going to give you, Roland, what they gave him, or Jews can't, or Black people can't do what Jews do, because Black people are not Jews. Black people have a very different and particular relationship that Jews and other communities don't have, so that we could start there. You're also not linked up with not only are you not Jeffrey Katzenberg, but you're not Meg Whitman. You don't have Meg Whitman, the former gubernatorial candidate, U.S. ambassador to Kenya. I didn't know that one. That's hilarious. Procter & Gamble. She's on the board member of Procter & Gamble. That's the main point I was getting at, and General Motors, because as we're gonna look at, I'm expecting in a moment when I get that pulled down that report, Procter & Gamble is not only one of the biggest companies in the world, but one of the biggest ad revenue purchasers, ad buyers in media. So of course there's going to be that inside track. And then look at who they're hooked up with: Walt Disney, Warner, JP Morgan, Alibaba. I don't even know what that is necessarily. A Chinese multinational technology company, Viacom, 21st Century Fox. I mean, you know, this and then this is even before we get to the specifics of the politics and the function of media within the society. Of course, you're not going to be able to do that. But instead of offering that kind of analysis, it's better to come back this way and present yourself as Black and radical and progressive and fighting the good fight and challenging these folks to get that money. And
can I say something?
While creating customized content for them. Right?
And he's going to say that too. That's right.
But so real quick. So what is this actually saying about Black businesses? Is it saying that they need white corporations to survive? And if one of our shining lights, Roland, is begging white people for money, so does that saying Black business is not working in general? Like him as a Black business owner, he's not even in control of his business, and he has to be beholden to these white corporations that's still not paying him. So he's doing that. He's doing the work for them for free or whatever cheap price that he's doing for it, because he didn't get this full share. So I feel like it's doing more of disservice, and it's shining a light on Black businesses more. Is it than him calling these white people out?
Well, and another thing where he mentions WVON, which is a independent Black-owned radio station here in Chicago, and that they don't get advertising dollars. I have WVON preset in my car, the talk of Chicago. And I just have to say it's reactionary as hell. When they're not promoting Jesus Christ as our salvation to the Black community, they got on here, you know, coon fascists like Willie Wilson, you know, promoting Willie Wilson and the Black mayor for Chicago, who said that the police should hunt down criminals like rabbits. You know, the violent Chicago Police Department that literally had for 3 decades ran a torture chamber to force confessions out of Black people. And he's proposing, you know, unleashing and taking the constraints off of the police department to address the city's crime wave, which is crime wave actually created more so by the media than by the criminals in the streets. So, you know, he's literally, like, at the same time, he's again mobilizing the masses of Black people to fight for funding for these reactionary media, Black-owned media stations that perpetuate many of the problems. They don't offer solutions on the airwaves. They don't really address or get to the core of our problems in analysis and don't offer any real solutions beyond give them more money and wait for salvation from on high.
Mm.
And all that is said, yeah, I ain't been called back. I went to WVON twice and they never called me back.
Anyway, I'm glad you made that point because I did forget to follow up on that. That's a good point that he's saying, and this is sort of the point that he's also a representative of. He's saying, don't just give all this money to these white folks, give it to us. And the us he's talking about are these very kinds of black media, black-owned media. And by the way, I didn't get a chance to do it before today's show, but I just got sent the new podcast featuring, I think for her first time, Kathy Hughes in discussion with Questlove, and you talk about, and I know we're in a supreme moment of rewriting history of the past generation, and I have been aggressively aware of the damage this woman has caused over the last 20 years, 30 years.
Trying to tell people.
And now she's going to come back in conversation with Questlove as a superhero. It's going to be so. But she's been doing in radio. This is the blueprint. What we're watching here is the Kathy Hughes blueprint from Radio 1, going back a long way. And in fact, I keep bringing it up lately, but the one of the very first things that I did in working with Glenn Ford at Black Commentator and then Black Agenda Report was tracing how Kathy Hughes and Radio 1 were the primary culprits in removing locally based Black reporting from Black communities. So, what does that mean?
Ricky tried to argue me down that Kathy Hughes ain't had no power, and I won, so appreciate that. Thank you for agreeing with Geechee, Jared.
Oh,
that how powerful Kathy Hughes was, and how much access she had, and she pretty much was signing off and doing what she do.
Well, she had the power to do what Roland Martin is doing here. You have the power as
larger than Roland Martin too, and has more money than him.
Right, but the power is only the ability to collect ad revenue from corporate white sponsors to produce and project the exact same white-owned Black art back to the Black community. So she wasn't doing she wasn't able, it's not like she could have even if she wanted to, but she wasn't able to, her Blackness and her womanhood had zero impact on the output of her media content. And that's largely because of the ad revenue that she wants to attract. And that's what Roland Martin is doing here. And that's what controls, at least in overt fashion, the content of commercial media. So that's anyway. Let's press on a little bit here.
How can you deny Cliff's ad agency? How can you deny this platform 4 years? I got 4 years of data. They had 0.
That's not true. So again, you can't say Katzenberg and what's her name and them didn't have any data. They have data. The data is when historically, when we create something, we can expect this amount of return, especially when we create it in this context. So he doesn't have data specifically to this Quibi venture, but he's got data going back much longer than that in terms of what he and others in those white, most elite media spaces can produce and expect and earn in return.
Let's be realistic though. When we come to, we got data, when they write these rules, they don't give a damn about the rules they make. Like, white folks, you said this is what you're supposed to do to increase your credit rating and qualify for a loan. And then Black people go in there and they do this secret shit where they have Black people go in and apply for a loan and they check all the boxes and hit all the marks. And then the white people go in there for the loan and they got a meth pipe in one hand and a rusty box cutter in the other. And that's all they got for collateral. And they get the loan. So it's really weird in 2023, we still telling white folks their rules that they gave to us, telling white folks how they not following the rules that they told us we must follow. Like it's just weird for adult black people to still be talking about. You said you supposed to have this much data, and you supposed to have all this 4 years going back 4 years, and I had it, and then you still didn't keep your promise. You know, I signed the treaty. I stayed but within my confines, and then you crossed the border. How are you not following your own rules, white man?
And now you on YouTube with a "Where's My Money" shirt.
And that's why
y'all some weirdos. Y'all some weird. That's some weird shit to be telling white folks. Yes, white folks, you know, don't follow their rules. They don't follow the rules they tell us. Or as Mos Def said it, if we start keeping pace, they'll change up the tempo.
And that's why, you know, in part why I keep saying this whole argument that they make is fugazi to begin with, because, and that's why when Martin and others support this, even and promote this idea of buying power, they're maybe mistakenly, but I feel like it's a willful complicitness in this projection of nonsense, because it's not real. So they know it's not real. They know black people don't have any money, but they have to project this nonsense so that they can pretend like they're attracting ad revenue that they think that they're going to get, because someone, as you said, Diallo, is pretending to say, we're going to give you money if you do what we say you're going to do. And it's never going to work out that way. So yeah, I mean, it's right on.
I need the folks watching to understand you cannot be innocent bystanders.
And that right there, by the way, I'm sorry to do this as someone follically challenged, but this is right here why I just said you got to let it go. You got to embrace it and let it go. You just gotta shave it off, embrace the bald head.
No,
rock.
That's called a wisp. That's called a wisp.
Yeah,
and the ladies love it.
Do they?
The ladies, yeah, yeah.
That's hot
that
right
little
there.
wisp,
Okay,
yeah,
my
they
bad.
play in
Okay,
it. Yeah, so
man.
you don't know.
Not me. I was like, you got to get that out of here immediately.
Get your Beijing when you're ready.
That's the kind of, you ain't allowed to speak on it.
And listen,
Geechee. You're not, when we're speaking issues related to our community and our plight, please do not encroach on that space.
Ain't nobody tell y'all to wear ball caps.
Don't encroach on that. Right.
That's because y'all was wearing ball caps when y'all was younger.
Listen, when you talking about
hitting the middle of y'all head,
when you talking about the issues that affect black men under 5'2" and the 5'2" and order community, do me and Jared come in and try to colonize that space and impose our views?
It sounds like some ableism and some shit that's going on right now. I don't know what's going on.
Oh, so y'all didn't turn being 5'2" a disability?
I mean, that's what it sounds like you trying to say. Like, I mean, you trying to say, you know. I bet
so y'all really okay, but I can't speak for you and your community. I'm just saying, don't encroach on our space.
I hear that's right.
I'm 5'9", and I bet you won't grab me. Play the tech.
Team Diallo all day.
You know what them dudes?
Day.
The 5 short dudes, we're that 1.5 and 3/4. Y'all love to throw those.
I'm 5'9", 0.55.
Exactly.
Measure me in my boots.
And you ain't gonna
measure me in my Timbs.
Right. I've never seen a 5-footer ever just stop at, the hard stop. Y'all always got to throw in those increments. Stop playing.
I'm gonna go get I'm gonna go get those Kanye red boots, and I'll be the same height as you. So what's up?
Those ain't Kanye boots.
It don't matter. He wore it, so it's his.
I saw Lord Jamar did a whole thing. He was like, I gotta stop it. I gotta intervene and stop the community from wearing these boots. I was
Lord Jamar.
They're not.
What community is he talking about? The Native community?
His black community.
No.
Diallo. Leave.
Lord
don't
Jamar
start
is
talking
a
about
Native
brand Nubian.
American. The gods are indeed crazy. Lord Jamar is a Native American. He was here before when the white man came to the shore. He was already here.
Until he go on Skip Gates show, because once he go on Skip Gates like Don Cheeto, he gonna find out.
No, he ain't. He don't need to. He was here. Only 388,000 Africans came here, just a drop in the bucket. It's no longer brand Nubian. It's brand Cherokee, and so I don't know how he was in a group called Brand Nubian, and he's a Native American. But Lord Jamar is not black. Let's not let his community talk to him. He's sovereign national Native American.
Is that why Rod Digger's not doing the show with him anymore? Because that's
Yeah, I
That's-
mean, he's a Native American Muslim Nubian. God
the
damn.
Yana- wow.
So,
Wow. Anyway, but at least he's not 5'9"3/4.
in this battle. Because see, you want your children hired. Pre-COVID, we had
There it
2.6
is.
million Black-owned businesses in America. 2.5 million had one employee, doing average revenue of $54,000. That means we only had 100,000 Black-owned businesses that had more than one employee. 95% of all Black-owned businesses in America do less than $5 million in revenue. Folks, this is about scale. Now, I'm going to close on this here.
This is
Stars.
This is remarkable. I mean, this is because as we've covered here, I know it's been talked about elsewhere, and many have been aware for an extended period of time. Roland Martin has been part of this whole Black business, Black investment, support Black this, buy Black that, invest in Black, the Wall Street wallet, and get your Bitcoin, invest, all he does is this. And then he comes back to read the accuracy of the situation, but to make the point that this is why I got to go to the white man. Because we don't have any businesses like mine that can trickle down, hire other Black people. So I gotta go to the most elite corporations and justify the nonsense content, the horrible economic analyses that he offers in particular. So I can get the real money, so I can do the work that will trickle down to you. This is a complete. I mean, when I watched this the first time, I mean, it was remarkable to me the way that they're able to do this shamelessly and with a straight face and with this air of tough guy talk. And as he's about to say here, if y'all don't do this, and I'm and I love, and even when they put these clips out, they do the Photoshop thing, and it's Roland Martin goes in, Roland Martin destroys this, Roland Martin. And it's such nonsense and complete confusion. So this is why, Diallo, I say we can't expect more from certain segments of our community, because this is the best of the analysis that they've been raised on.
And this is militant. This is militancy. So real quick, so he's claiming that Black businesses are going to be able to scale up as a result of minority set-asides coming to him and coming to other Black businesses.
No, I don't hear it that way. I don't hear it that way at all. I hear him admitting what I hear him saying, see, that dude Jared is right, but I can't acknowledge that because then I don't get my check. But in other words, he's not saying Black businesses will scale up with the right amount of support.
He said this is about scale. That's what he said.
But what I'm hearing him say, though, is he's saying it's about scale. It's about the fact that Black businesses cannot scale up unless they get this white investment. That's what he's saying. And only those who get that white, which is that's been the whole argument my whole time. That's the whole point. That's why you don't see Black businesses, despite however many get made, ever rising to the level of competition, maybe except for one or two, until they get bought out by a bigger white company. Because that's the goal. So he's saying Black businesses can never scale up
without the government and corporate. Yeah.
Without white money coming in, without the state coming in, without the elite coming in. And instead of saying, let's redistribute, he says, no, because he does the Black capitalist thing. Give it to me, and then I will take care of the community. And that's why 100 years ago, Abram Harris was saying the most vicious, vampires of the Black community are these Black capitalists. Now, I'm not saying I fully agree with that point, but that's why he was reaching this conclusion, because these folks keep running this hustle that is specifically to his, as he's going to say in a moment, customizable to his Black audience in ways that no, white exec could do and get away.
Yeah, and we keep what? Well, the Negro elites do it, and we eat it up. We keep eating it up. You know, I call these people because, like, I think they're forgetting the fact that a lot of this did come as a result of mass struggle. These set-asides, the very concept of affirmative action set-asides and minority mandates and all that shit came as a result of mass struggle. And we have more than half a century of that. And I call these people ladder kickers. They'll mobilize. Like when he opened this up, he claimed people were scared of what he was going to say because he was going to,
I know, right?
weaponize black people and aim the black community at these corporations.
Speaking truth to power.
And when a lot of these black people who in the 70s and 80s got that same, they got where they got, whether it's education, loans, money, status, positions within white institutions and private and public institutions, they kicked the ladder down. They kicked the ladder down, and they were like, oh, I'm here because of my hard work, because of my talent, because of the sacrifices I made. So just if he did start getting this money rolling in, he wouldn't be answering no phones of any black activists. He wouldn't be having no grassroots or the very people he's calling on to target these corporations for boycott and protest. If he did start getting 6, 7, 8 figures coming through his media company, he would begin to behave just like all these other, he would be at the Met Gala wearing some, diamond encrusted ascot at the Met Gala. They kick the ladder over, and we never see or hear them again. So it is, like you said, a cycle that goes back over a century with black capitalism.
It's also ironic that if he's advocating for King and he's radical like King, then he could advocate for universal basic income, and then his listeners can give him some more money because now they got more money in their pockets.
Right. Or like you said, why would he advocate for universal income if he's getting Amazon advertisement dollars? Why would he advocate for universal health care if he's getting Pfizer dollars, or United Health dollars? How can he advocate for things that would undermine or undercut his revenues? He'll get on there and say, oh, we need more STEM investment in the black community so black people can get these jobs and go do coding for Amazon or go do work and research R&D labs for Pfizer. That's the solutions they sell us after selling us to the corporations.
John Johnson.
Hey, we could try a few more minutes of this. I don't know if we're going to get to the end, but or if we need to, but
I'd just like you to
Showtime.
No, go ahead.
No, I just like, how come every time you pause, it's that facial expression? Because it sounds like he can hear us. It's creepy, man. Can you cover that up?
HBO.
No, go ahead. Oh, wait, my bad. I hit the wrong one. Did you go ahead? Do you want to say something undistracted?
Who, me?
Yeah.
No, that was that.
Okay.
That's all I had to say, man. Hey, yeah, I ain't got nothing of value to say.
Netflix. Hulu, Peacock, all the streaming channels.
He said Netflix gave him the money.
Your emails.
He got 10,000. He said he got 10,000 from Netflix because he put some pressure on him. And I think he said he bought some lights or something.
Get your talent on my show and on my network. Now, if my show is good enough,
now he's talking to Diallo
and my audience is large enough that you want your talent to be on my network and my show,
CTC.
Why is it I never hear from your advertising people?
Because if you want those black celebrities that Diallo loves on my show,
all of these networks, Lifetime, Bravo, all of these folks advertise all over the place. Starz got more black shows, more 50 Cent shows than anybody. But I never see their ads. But y'all love trying to send your stars to come on the show. This is what I'm saying. You got to draw the line. And I've drawn the line. I will not allow any black celebrity from Showtime, Hulu, Peacock, HBO, Netflix, Starz, OWN, or any other network to come on this show if they're spending zero money.
Who
Gotta
want to come
pay
on
to
that
play,
show?
We got
baby.
10 grand from Netflix because I called about
There
on
it
Twitter.
is. 10 grand.
That's it. We got $250,000 from Young and Rubicam for the census to put them on blast.
250,000.
250,000.
Bang,
That's
bang.
my Freedom Scholar money. God
Hey.
damn.
Big bang.
That's what I'm saying. I can't mess it. But this is, before I forget, I want to say again, and shout out to the 100 and some people that found us over here on this stream, y'all. I really appreciate you all. I got to say that again. I appreciate all the social media noise you all been making, folks migrating over here a little bit. I really appreciate that.
Yeah.
And it was good too, because Diallo said he's not coming on if we were getting the same numbers we were getting earlier in the week on the other broadcast. So thank you all.
As per my contract.
As per his contract.
Black Power Media, y'all gotta know, if y'all don't do right by me, I'm telling you, I'm gonna mobilize the people, and we gonna come, and I'm gonna let them know where it's.
That's what he said.
Where are my viewer numbers?
Hey, this dude been divering all week about this damn band.
It's like I'm not. Yeah. So, but I also wanted to say, and then we can come back to it if you want. But I think we've actually got all the. I mean, he says some more gems in there, but it's so long, and it's already 9:20 already. But and I did want to. I pulled up the report, so I at least give a preliminary showing of it, and then we can all dig into it later for maybe next week or whatever. But I do want to say before I forget, please somebody send me the clip if you find. And this is me being petty. I acknowledge this but with that principled base. Has Dr. Carr done a book review discussion or interview with Josh Myers about Of Black Study yet? Has he done that yet? Because please let me know if you all see that, if anybody sees that, because that to me would be the most egregious sort of turn in this Roland Martin space if that doesn't happen, because they're boys, comrades, colleagues at Howard University, and that book is an HBCU product. And it is whatever maybe its imperfections or disagreements any of us might have. I'm very proud that book. I'm just happy to see that book exists. So anyway, I just wanted to ask that. But thank you very much. Thank you very much.
So we got a couple people who intersect between Roland's show and they like Greg Carr. So is this hating on Roland, or is it just clearly sharing that Roland doesn't own his media, and this is proof, right? And even
I don't know what it's proof of. It's just me being. It could be that. It could be a sign of what I've been arguing is this sort of political shift in Carr's work because of this positioning that I think this in my argument. Mm-hmm. But I don't know. I just for all the discussions that I think he does, I don't know anymore, of books and literature and scholarship. This got to be part of the discussion. That's all. That's all. I don't know. I don't have any. Yeah, that's it.
Well, towards the end, I had no issue with Martin as a business owner trying to negotiate with advertisers or coerce, motivate, seduce advertisers to bring more revenues to his platform. I have a problem with these Black business people trying to articulate or telling the myth that their personal enhancement is either going to result in our collective upliftment or is evidence of our collective upliftment. That's my only problem. And people think I'm a hater. Like, remember Monique was going to mobilize the Black community against Netflix. And then now she's getting contracts and the shit is all good. She ain't spoke to the Black community. Has she spoken on any issues, any recent atrocities? Has she made any outreach or engagement with any issues that's relevant to the masses of Black people? Because when she was having personal problems in her personal career, she wanted to make it a Black issue. She wanted to make it a Black woman's issue. She was like, how they do us, and they can't do us like this. And now that she's got a Netflix special coming, she's got all these contracts with 50 Cent. Now, where's the us? I and me and my career. They do this shit. They kick the ladder every time. They get us to hoist up and hold the ladder. They get up on the ladder, and then they turn around and kick that ladder over. So and that's my only issue with that. Beyond that, if you can shake down a multinational corporation, if you can shame or seduce a multinational corporation to give you money, get it. But stop with this calling on and acting like this is a collective affront or something that is either a disrespect of the collective or something that on the other side will be an advancement or a win for a collective when it ain't got shit to do with the collective. Let's keep collective business over here and your personal aspirations within the systems and institutions of white hegemony, capitalism, and white domination over there. Stop conflating, because when those bleed into each other, they hurt us.
But I think with Roland, though, it's hard for it not to bleed in because his business is promoting white hegemony, capitalism, U.S. imperialism, because he's supposed to be a media puppet or media whatever he is. So I think for him, I think it's more than just his business. I think it's his message and his overall agenda. So yeah, I would have tons of problem with Roland, other than his attitude when you meet him in person too. So,
what do you do?
He just an asshole. He really like the way he act on TV. He really believes he's that guy, and like you would have to bow and like So.
See, I'm
this is not a performance.
Nah, that nigga. What do you say? What do you say? What you say?
I don't know why I laughed. I don't know. I just thought that sounded funny.
I said I'm totally different in person.
Oh,
y'all come over. I'll give y'all some sauteed tofu and organic green tea.
We might be in Chicago soon. I meant to tell
water.
you. We might be out there. I don't know. I don't know what the latest is on the family schedule, but it popped up on the possibility. So I was gonna be like, I thought me and you could go. We could go hang out and catch up with T.O.
I got the text. And
we could go to the mosque. We got to go to the mosque.
Which one? I'll go to the Orthodox. I'll go to the Sufi. I'll go to the Orthodox mosque. I ain't trying to go over there to the NOI, to the Mosque Miriam.
They did say they're trying to work on us hosting a show live in Charlotte. So we need to be traveling since we about to be deplatformed. So we might as well hit the road.
If Kalonji would stop posting that explicit material,
working. I know he's just
on Black Power platform. If he would just go, if he stopped, posting his OnlyFans material on the platform.
He keeps messing.
We stop getting them strikes.
You uploaded to the wrong page.
Right.
Dude.
He needs a second laptop for that content because he
doing it for the gram, man.
Because that is why we got flagged, right?
I don't know. But Kalonji probably come in the chat soon. So you
right. Yeah, he can't put it. You can't put that stuff on the
YouTube. You just said you support black business, and that man going his own business, and you shut this
business
down right now.
That's all I'm saying. You can't put OnlyFans content on YouTube.
I just wanted to show real quick, just preliminarily, what some of these revenue numbers are that Roland is talking about. This is just some of the ad revenue placement, and it's gone up since it went up in 2021. Which is this is the report for 2022. So I guess we get it. I guess they're always like a year behind. They're measuring the last data. The last round of accumulated data, but you could just start to see, and this is just it gets up to closer to anywhere from really closer to $500 billion in total annual revenue that's spent in ads. And he mentions, Roland does, the Omnicom group in that video we were just watching. And, they're one of the primary buyers of ads for the people that hire them to place ads. So I haven't found everything yet, but there was just one other thing I'll share real quick, because I just was downloading the report as we were doing the show here. But here we go again, just some of the numbers. By 2021, worldwide revenue, let's see, ad center, data center, exclusive data. Okay, this is just, okay. Wait, let me get this is the agency report, ad agency. And it looks like they've redesigned it. I used to get this every year. Biggest companies and companies and networks. But Omnicom Group, 14.3 billion in worldwide ad purchases just by themselves. WPP of London, 17.6. Publicis out of Paris, 13.9. You know, so you can see, and Procter and Gamble used to be up on this list. Is it? I don't know. Maybe this is. Are they not on the top 25 anymore? Or did they redo their? I don't see them on here at all. But Vivendi. Anyway, there's just a lot of money. The top 25 total 128 billion. And in ad revenue, in ad spending. So that's just the top 25 groups. So you know, just showing you how they spend their, you know. So anyway, I have to get more care. I haven't really gotten a chance to really look too much at it, but just an idea of some of the numbers. This is what he's talking about, though. This is what Roland Martin's talking about, targeting and trying to get a piece of. So anyway, speaking of peace, while I have this here, Black Alliance for Peace is supporting a march outside the White House on Saturday, March 18th, building opposition to U.S., EU, NATO axis of domination from 1 to 3 p.m., March 18th, Saturday. Go to blackallianceforpeace.com for more information. But if you know, because we had a little bit of a dust up with people on this platform lately, if you weren't part of the rally against the war led by Diallo's good friends on the white right and left, this one, and Anthony Montero, you know, was very upset at me for not supporting it. So there are Black apparently supporters of that as well. But if you want a rally that you maybe are a little more comfortable supporting, here's one for you, March 18th. And it involves the Answer Coalition that Dr. Montero seemed to not have ever heard of, oddly enough. And what does Answer stand for again? Because it has anti-racism is part of isn't that the R in Answer? Isn't that wasn't that part of it was like anti-war and racism, right? Isn't that part? Somebody in the chat will